What up, though? If somebody come up in here, I want to make sure this audio and everything is working first before I even get into anything. But you know, we got a ton of stuff to talk about. I hadn't been recording in almost a week because there was only one or two things really popping off, and it was really all associated to one person. So you know what I mean, I ain't really want to talk about all that like every day, 3-4 times a day. It was no reason for that. But I want to say shout out to everybody that's up in here. Let me go ahead and y'all got any questions or anything like that, y'all can go ahead and, you know, send y'all questions. But I named this with Tekashi, the Jeezy, Gucci, man, impact stuff. I wanted to start off with the Jeezy and Gucci, man. Well, actually, the Tekashi, wherever y'all want to start at, I'll bounce back and forth. Shout out to Triple Darkness. But that was something I seen the other day about who had me. Of course, me being from Detroit, of course, you know, we got a stronger connection to Jeezy. But at the same time, it's like looking at the whole catalog. I think specifically for the reason that Gucci man keeps his name attached to so many different artists and help put so many people on. Then I hear the behind the scenes stuff too that's supposed to be going on in Atlanta with quote unquote Jeezy supposed to, you know, took sides with Bankroll Fresh, and then the rest of the city was kind of on the other side or whatever attached to Gucci man. The reason why. But you know, music wise, you know, I'm not gonna say I'm the biggest fan of either one of them in 2018. But I may have to give it to Gucci man, but I want to hear some of the stuff that y'all got to say. But the 6ix9ine situation, like, I couldn't talk about that every day. And I'm just keeping it funky with you guys. If I wanted to just be and just putting out stuff just to be putting out stuff, you know what I mean, I could. But my thing is, that's why some of my videos be 8, 9, 10, 15 minutes long. Because I say what I have to say. I try not to have a ton of filler in my videos where I'm just super rambling. I'm talking about my, you know, and of course in my live streams you might have some rambles because I'm going looking at the comments, this and that, blah blah blah. Yeah, I'm from Detroit, you know, money. But in my videos I cut out a lot of stuff because I try to hit the facts, my opinion, get out. I don't try to put in no filler and then put them out. And it was only so much I could say about the Tekashi 6ix9ine situation. Now of course he went up on the Breakfast Club, and you know, a lot of people, even myself, I could see he controlled that. But see, I pay attention to details. See, he was supposed to come up there the day before, and he said he hollered at his partner and then said he wanted to come up there, and then he got messed over by the police and then came up there. So they didn't have a lot of time to really get prepared for him to really dig all the way back until I seen some videos doing some research on the dude where he was with some other group, the Scum Gang group, where it's them and some other people that was like putting CO2, air, and balloons, getting high off of it, this and that. They were screaming. So I don't know if that's originally where his style came from. A lot of people saying those videos that did a ton of views, he took them other people's name off so people couldn't recognize who they was, this and that. But fast forward and going back up until today, you know what I'm saying? What up though, Benji? But fast forward and going up until today, let me ask y'all this. Y'all can't hear me, right? But anyway, just make sure if someone can answer that for me, make sure y'all can hear me. But, you know what I'm saying? Yup, the Zilla dude. But, fast forward to today, yeah, he controlled that interview. And I can tell just by the social media presence and control that Tekashi got over his fans and everybody, him telling them to send L's at See the God, and they was doing it for like a few days straight, and he tried to flip it. Even See the God went back onto his Brilliant Idiots podcast and was continually talking about it. And I understand maybe Genuine, as a quote unquote older person or OG, he may don't want him to see him go through that situation, because See the guy was, I ain't gonna say directly in the middle, but yeah, he was attached to that Troy Ave, you know, Tax Stone situation. So I guess that's probably more where his advice, even for DJ Akademiks in that situation, is that, like, you don't want to play that too tough, because if something really pop off, your name gonna be associated. You may have blood on your hands, but at this present moment, it's entertaining. I want to ask y'all this. I want to ask y'all this question for real. What is the definition of trolling? See, I ain't gonna say I'm old school, but I'm gonna say this. I'm not old, I'm not young, but I was raised by older people. Other than like my immediate friends, some of my G's that was around me when I was growing up, you know what I mean? all my cousins that I hung with, except a couple of them that was my age, were all 6, 7, 8 years older than me. So I was raised off those morals and principles. And I know it's a big difference between social media morals and principles compared to real life morals and principles, but now the lines are getting blurry. So I don't understand really what trolling is. It's trolling like means that I can talk shit, I could disrespect you, I could tell you the SMD, I could do whatever I want to do, and then if you get mad, you and your feelings, and you take a loss, and I can just say I'm just joking. Is that not the same thing? It's kind of, and there's no diss using him as an example, but isn't this the same thing like if you talk shit to someone on your radio show and then someone come up there and check you, then you say I'm just a radio guy? Is that almost the same equivalent? I don't really understand the dynamics of trolling, because you got people in this world that don't care if you joking or if it's satire or whatever. They gonna take what you say for face value, and you gonna have to deal with that particular situation whenever it come up. You know what I mean? So that's my whole thing with old boy. Like, I was going to put out a video, was then they're gonna be like, I ain't gonna say it was another video, but I compacted it into another video. You know, my whole direction and narrative towards Tekashi69 is you gotta do, but me looking at him, especially listening to the things that he said in that interview, for people that understand the terminology and understand that culture, he said he just came home this past year. So meaning he just became a blood this past year, even though he put up a tweet that he had been gang banging all his life. So I don't know what he was really gang banging prior than this past year, when people say he was associated with Crips and everything like that. But so my thing is, if you just came home this year, you just became a blood this year, that's technically in the gang culture, you a foot soldier. So that maybe explain a little bit of the reason why he going so hard, because he trying to prove something to his OGs that he really with the business, and that may be how it's being manipulated back towards him. Like, you still got to show and prove. And you know, then at the same time, like if I can interview old boy, I want to ask him flat out, is you paying for protection? How long you really been rocking with them? Because there's other people that's popping up that I don't know if they doing it just for clout or not, but they were saying that, you know, he used to be a Crip, and then the other person was saying, you know, the OG that he was up under don't want to claim him. You know what I mean? My world, from where I'm from and this and that, that's considered false flagging. And damn near the blood set won't even accept you if you were already claiming they quote unquote enemy or something like that. So that's why I think it's more of a money situation going on. But then I heard he was supposed to be representing some Spanish gang as well. Who knows? But like I said, let me see, you say they're using trolling as an excuse. It's not troll at times, but when it's just pure shit talk, that's just pure shit talk. So that's, I guess that's why I'm trying to dig into that and trying to understand, like, so basically right now trolling, because I look at the internet, which I know you probably don't supposed to, but I look at the internet, the way I treat it, the same thing that I would say to a person on the internet is the same thing I would say to a person in real life. So if I say what up though, if I say much respect, if I say F you, that's what I would say in real life. I'm not gonna go on the internet just because I know I'm 1,000 miles away from you and this and that and say the most disrespectful thing to you, because this world is small, especially for people that maybe come across a little change and start traveling. You may start bumping into these people that you talking that mess to, and that's how I can tell, like, some people, everybody gonna eventually at some point in time have to take an L in their life, and that's when that humbling part, either you're gonna get humbled and learn how to maneuver but still be yourself, or you may turn into a pure beast. But no matter how tough you are, there's always someone tougher out here in this world. You know what I mean? And just like people saying, it's becoming almost like the Mayweather, quoting old boy the Mayweather, people tuning in just to see if something is going to happen. So if this from the beginning has been his marketing strategy, he taking advantage of it. Now, the thing about 50 Cent, quote unquote, co-signing him, one, I pay attention to detail again. When he asked him, I run New York, right? You know, 50 Cent just kept laughing. You know what I mean? He never said like, yeah, he just said, tell him what you said, blah, blah, blah. You know what I'm saying? Of course, they want them views to come over to This Is 50. They want to reach the demographic of kids and the Mexicans and everybody that he reaching everywhere else to get their platform there. Plus, at the same time, that's damn near what 50 was doing. But at the same time, people checking 50 background and story, it wasn't so many holes up in his story. It's some that people could point out, but it's a little bit more reputable to see where 50 was coming from. We don't know if that's the same situation as as Tekashi, but I wish the best for the dude. I want him to prosper. I just don't want him to constantly keep putting himself in situations, because if he do have a career past 2, 3, 4, 5 years, you gonna have to go to LA, Houston, Minnesota, and all these other cities multiple times a year. So if they don't get you this time, that time, even if they stop talking on social media and then it slip your brain and you forget about it and think things passed on, that's when people can attack. And another question I would want to ask Tekashi is, why, when you go out of town, if you know that you got beef out there, why you only going 2, 3 deep? I know you're not having to pay for all their plane tickets, because if they broke around you, they shouldn't be around you when you getting millions. 2, if they know you going somewhere that it may be a quote-unquote imminent threat, they should be definitely going with you. So like I said in another video, I think 5, 10 years from now, if he's still in the game, but if he's not in the game, he's going to reflect on his time, just like most people in the streets. It's always going to be a few OGs that you're going to look back at and be like, man, this person was toxic. They wasn't giving me the right information. They was using me. You know what I mean? So 50 was laughing because the shit was funny. 50 knows little dude don't run shit in New York. You know what I mean? Shout out to Memphis. But let me ask, if it's people in here right now, I'm gonna bounce around a little bit, but if it's people in here right now that's from down south, who do you feel like have a bigger impact? Is it Jeezy or Gucci Man? Now, you know, it's that debate coming from the A of who created the term trap, this and that. As far as for me, Jeezy was down to that first representation, just blatant with it. Because here, you majority, I'm talking about besides your Eminems and all that, even your super lyrical rappers, which, you know, I ain't gonna say he not nobody, but the Obi Trice, he was talking street stuff, hustling, make, you know, this and that, blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean? You go back to your E-Shams, this and that, whatever. But besides that, people kind of kept it to a limit because it was stuff that they was really doing. They didn't just put it on straight front street like Jeezy did at the beginning. So he was the first one where people was like, damn, I can't believe he even talking like that. You know what I mean? But I want to know who y'all felt like has the bigger impact. Because earlier in the video I said Gucci, like Terry just said, Gucci, you know, he attached himself to what? The Migos. And like, damn it, everybody he down there put a hand on, they then blew up. Or he didn't put them in the deal. So when they blew up and got hot songs, they don't mind coming back doing a favor for him. And I think that's what helped him keep his relevance right now. Because that's one thing business-wise, and I say this, and it don't be out of no disrespect, but I say this as far as with Jeezy, though, is that I just never seen no one strongly get on yet. YG already down there had his movement popping for real. Just from what I hear, you know, Jeezy told him to correct a couple things about his album name, this and that. But to me, YG already had this shit popping, you know what I mean? I can't play and talk on this, so I'm gonna be hella messing up. But Yeezy was first and connected to BMF. Yeah, of course. I remember Gucci saying that he was trying to get with BMF, but they said, you know, because he was robbing and stuff like that, they really kind of rejected it or didn't want to deal with it, but they were still cool with him. You know what I mean? But let me ask y'all this. What type of lawyer, I'm guessing right now, if you accidentally bring any guns or drugs to the airport, just run. Just run. Because you're going to get all charges dropped because you ran. Now, I don't know if that's because of the actual possession and constructual possession. You know what I mean? I know they got cameras on every inch of the airport. I don't know, but I would like for somebody, even myself, to really dig in that to see how was those charges dropped from Juelz. They say he's still in custody. I don't wish jail on nobody, but I be really want to know what's going on. Maybe for me in the future, if I ever do some dumbass shit and go to the airport, or for somebody else I know, I can give them some information like, bro, just run. Just skip town, and they gonna drop the shit when they come back. But I want to know about that with him. Now you seen Slim 400 came up into New York, and that's the crazy thing as far as some media outlets. You can't just show your pure biasness. When Slim 400 and everybody came, some people just, I know I didn't cover it because I said I'm not about to be covering this every day 2, 3, 4, 5 times a day. I just got fed up with it and said I'm just gonna leave it alone for a minute. But certain people just didn't cover. People just act like it didn't happen. That's the mind manipulation that's going on with the media, along with some other people, like, oh, I just don't address it. We just don't act like it never happened. So my thing is this whole persona trolling, or is this some real, how do they feel? Is old boy really that untouchable? Because you don't even hear people from here call themselves the king of Detroit. They might make sure that they say maybe in a rap type way, but they don't say it in no way like on some street stuff, because it's dudes in the streets that's getting more money than dudes that's in the rap game, that got more respect than dudes in the rap game, that got more reach, more pull than dudes in the rap game. At least here. I don't know how it is in some other places. Some other places, that person that may get off into the rap game, he may be the richest person around, but I don't really be knowing what's going on. You say when feds pick you. Oh, see, that's the thing. I didn't know the feds picked up the case. All I heard was the state dropped the charge and he's still in custody. But what else been going on this week? DMX. What else been going on this week? DMX got to do a year for tax evasion. I would think by now, I wonder who is just calling me from a foreign ass number, but if that's someone watching my live that's hit me from a foreign number, you see I'm on live. Don't hit me up when I'm on live. But I would think by now that you should have your affairs in order, not to be that of age, that far into your career, and not be keeping up with your money to go to jail for something like that. I can understand when you new in the game, money coming in, you may make some mistakes, may not pay things, may not be looking at your books. But after 100 different people this thing went through, and you that far in the game, you should not be going through those type of situations. You know what I mean? What else been going on in the let me ask you, and I'm even glad my dude even made that damn shot, man. For anybody that play this game, I'm getting so sick and tired of 2K. They doing everything to rape you out of money. You find one jump shot, you finally master it, then they go in and tweak something to make your shot all thrown off. You can't even get good to go play pro-am or play against nobody. You know what I'm saying? They constantly changing everything. You say Waka made drill popular. So that's the thing. I never got deep off into the drill movement. Like, I kept up with the backstories that was like kind of fueling the situation. But I'm the type of person like this when it come to rap, especially nowadays. I'm not about to listen to 20 different people that rap over the same beats, the same cadence, the same dreads, same lookalike. I'm either gonna find the one that's authentic, or I'm gonna find the one that's real but the best at what they do and listen to him. I can't do it. I can't sit up and listen to a million different people talking about the same thing. Shout out Brandy. What up though? What up Pimp? Kenneth? You know what I mean? So when it came to the drill thing, of course, when the JoJo recipes to him and all that, everything was going on, that's what made me focus on it. But then everything else, all I was hearing, 30s, 40s, ops, Glock, 30s, 40s, ops, Glock. You gonna get popped, dropped, ops, cops, 40s, Glock. That's all I kept hearing over and over again. I'm like, I can't do it. Because I do come from a time where I do want to hear some lyrics, a little bit of lyrics, a little bit of effort. You know what I mean? Pittsburgh, PA, shout out to y'all. The best rapper, Jada Kids, hands down. The most, Danner, I would say, I would put him, if they need to make a most consistent, you know what I mean, as far as bars and everything. You know what I mean? I guess this week the whole situation popped off with the little Xan dude. Don't even really want to speak his name into existence because he's damn near, no human is irrelevant. But I feel like this whole approach to just dissing Tupac, that's super clout chasing. You know what I mean? They know if you say something negative about Tupac, that everybody gonna swarm him, every media outlet gonna cover it, then they get the attention. Until something bad happened and the people, you know, try to run away from it. But we have seen in the past year, 2, 3, 4 years that it is a campaign. You just got to follow the money back to where it's at. But there is a campaign that's going on to smear his legacy, because people don't want people to go back and do the roots and the research on Tupac to really find out what he was about, because that message could come back to today, because he really had a cult following with the stuff that he was trying to do. You said you said I'm not a fan, but rap got boring. Yeah, I damn near just listen to a lot of stuff. You say that's why 6ix9ine vocals stand out. I didn't catch the part that you maybe said before that, but everybody do sound the same. You know what I mean? Everybody give your specific experience. Talk about what's going. Even though in the hood or in the streets or whatever, there's going to be similarities, but that's when you're supposed to put your talent into it to say it a different way than other people. But music have became so much not about talent, and it's the artist's fault, but it's also the industry fault as well. These A&Rs, we gotta put a lot of responsibility on them. When we went through that whole ringtone era of just trying to make the quick buck, that's when everything, from the beginning of everything, just got 100% watered down. These kids just don't understand. Yeah, rappers want to stand out. So I guess, see, that's my thing. I wonder, is the rappers, so that's why everybody say, okay, what's the craziest color I can put in my hair? What's the tightest jeans I can put on? Okay, what did I see my grandma wearing? Let me rock that, and I'm gonna stand out. I'm talking about, you can still stand out, and I'm not saying everybody don't supposed to dress the same, act the same, still be you, but I want to be different. But I let my character, I let my presence, I let how I conduct myself when I'm in a room or when I'm in the area make me stand out from other people. My aura gon' let you feel that. I don't have to put a clown mask on to come in the room to stand out. Cause the loudest ones you gonna be on attack. The loudest ones normally is the weakest ones, the ones that's trying to be low key. But y'all should already know that. Anybody subscribed here for a long period of time, we on the same page about a lot of stuff, so we already know. See, controversy sells. Definitely back in the day. Think about alright, when the Tupac Biggie beef was going on, think how many people outside of Biggie was going platinum just because people wanted to hear if they was gonna say something about the beef. They may have had one line on a whole album about the East Coast West Coast beef, and they shit was going platinum. I know numbers and album sales and stuff like that don't sell the same, but though I don't remember just hearing about a whole bunch of shows, tons of shows getting canceled and stuff like that. It wasn't until deaths started happening where people started being held as liabilities and people started bagging away from it. But I don't see where the people that's beefing right now are super selling. And there's no diss to Chicago, then that mean all the ones that still promoting the drill stuff like that, they will all be platinum artists. They still will all be going gold. And not to say they hurting or nothing like that, but if that's the case, them dudes is in real life beef. YouTube is about to ban guns and rap music. Right, well, hey, YouTube doing a lot. And Memphis, keep in mind, and you probably already know, but keep in mind, man, YouTube, they got this analytics and all this stuff down pat. And when they started to see, just like the rap game, when it became less about talent, less about substance, less about perspective and this and that, just like blogging and vlogging, when it became less about that and more about the shock jock and saying the craziest thing, or they see a certain demographic starting to utilize it as a hustle to make money and it may be helping a lot of people, or they find any and every way to shut it down. They change policy after policy after policy after policy to start wiping that demographic out. You know what I'm saying? But you don't see the TMZs, the E at Nights, and none of these other people. You don't see them going through these problems. And you also don't see TMZ, E Live News, and Hollywood, this and that, blah, blah, blah. You also don't see them beefing. You also don't see they crews behind the scenes flagging people videos. You also don't see the indirect hate. They understand that this is a $1 billion business and everybody can eat. It's a lot of stuff within the black community, and our mindsets we have to change when we come into something. It's never going to be one of nothing. It's not one astronaut. It's not one basketball player. It's not one NBA commentator. It's not one gas station. It's not one lamp. You feel me? So people got to get out of that mindset. You know what I mean? But some people, the younger they are, they impressionable. So they don't understand. They just listening to a voice or a person or a group of people just to get the information from. But I always tell people that follow me, I don't mind people to disagree. Just come back with some valid points, because you may teach me something. You know what I mean? It may change my perspective, but anything I say or you say, I'm definitely going to go back and double check it. But someone just texted me and was like, did I hear about what Charlamagne said on the Brilliant Idiots, basically about Tekashi 6ix9ine taking Akademiks out to DR? You know what I mean? Like he was his side hoe to get him a body job. No, I haven't seen that. What up though, DJ Yo? I haven't seen that. And it's been multiple days that went by, and see the guys still talking about that. At the end of the day, like another thing that I didn't cover, I'll talk about it right now. But anything y'all want to ask me about anything that's going on, it don't matter what it is, just put it up there and I'll answer it. You know what I mean? I'll take these times to do that. But I didn't talk about when the DS and Muro situation with DJ Envy, because I looked at that whole situation from a totally different perspective than what was going on. I looked at why it was going on. I knew from the day that DS and Muro got into it and they was having a little problem with DJ Akademiks and all that. One, I knew at some point in time, yeah, they gonna come on the Breakfast Club. But I knew when they came on the Breakfast Club, I didn't know what it was, but I knew something was gonna happen to make it go viral. The end of the day, just like Star said to act that one day on his face at the very end of that video, like the hip hop culture don't respect you. I really believe it's an underlining, you know, campaign slowly brewing to try to dethrone or to knock Boy out of there. And my thing is, I don't hate on nobody hustle how they eating their family, you know what I mean, feeding their family and doing that, you know what I mean. I just don't want to perpetuate no hate and no side behind the scenes bullshit that I know that be going on. I know like a few different people channels that be hella getting fucked with just cause they may say something, and then you have this cult of people behind the scenes that's hating on people. Jersey Deep, what up though? Major's been wanting people to make their moves, they jump on Drake. Yeah. Major's not investing no money in nobody no more. You know what I'm saying? Like Major's, say for instance, like artist development, taking the time. They don't really want to pay no real producer. When real producers, even though, yeah, they was probably taxing like a motherfucker back in the day because they knew that the money and the budgets was there. But that's when you had original sounds. You know what I'm saying? I really would like to get the opportunity one day to just take a tour of all the record labels, just to go to their offices for half an hour. Not to talk to them. I just want to look at them and see, maybe be a fly on the wall for a little minute, just to see, are these people really from the culture or not? What do they care about? How is the setup? Because nothing, so fast, nothing is the same no more, and it's totally reflected in the music. And especially for hip-hop to be the #1 genre that influences everything, you would think the biggest machines with the biggest money will be pushing us to be represented right. You know what I mean? And being represented right is, you know, subjective to any and everybody. But if you see where I'm going with that, if this is the most powerful genre that influences other genres, then we shouldn't be trying to water it down so much by 100 different hits that be on the Billboard all sound alike. You know, I don't know when not being original became in. You know what I mean? You didn't go out the house and want to. You may admire someone or, you know, admire someone's hustle and this and that, but you never wanted to do exactly what another person was doing. And you 100, salute to you, Dr. Man. The labels and everything been straight up compromised. You know what I mean? What else been going on this week, man? Anything that y'all feel like, because I'm gonna repeat it again, this past 3, 4, 5, 6 days, I could have been one of those type of people, and it ain't no diss to nobody that did or do, but I wasn't about to cover the Tekashi 6ix9ine situation every day, 4 times a day. Oh, he woke up and brushed his teeth. Oh, he touched old boy thigh. Or he did this, he did that, he did. Like, come on, man. It ain't too much you could talk about until some real shit really happen. Then it's time to talk about it. But letting a whole week go by and everything that went on, I'm like, okay, I'll talk about it all at one time. Yeah, the DMX thing, I was saying by now he shouldn't be in that situation. I don't know who running his money or not, but he shouldn't be in that situation. in my eyes, he said, you the new. Hey, I appreciate that. I didn't catch the name, but I appreciate that. I didn't, you know what I mean? Like, of course, before doing this, it's multiple different reasons. And eventually, one day, I've gotten interviewed a couple times, and I never really been asked the questions before that really make me go into details that made me even start blogging. But eventually, one day, I will. But, you know, I watched the blueprints of different individuals that I respect. And let me say this, and I'll talk about it now. I never talked about it. But Vlad did, and it's salute to dude. I don't understand. I don't know whoever related to him, if he watched it or if he just watched a certain part of it or not. But Vlad is a very smart person to get to where he's at, to run the stock market, have a team of people, this and that. I don't understand how he didn't comprehend that in a video I was not saying that Vlad is a snitch or Vlad set people up. If you see, go back and check out one of them videos where after the Ayanna Jackson situation or whatever was going on, Vlad was talking to Lord Jamar, and then he was like, man, I got time, cuz I'm gonna talk about it today. He was like, yeah, it was this video that went up, and he totally and I'm not trying to take nothing just to take. I know because he left a comment up under the video that I did way about a year ago. So he finally talked about it. He was like, yeah, I had taxed on with an arrow pointing to some paperwork. The paperwork was fake. One, the paperwork was not fake. Two, the situation I said directly in the video, I was like, shouts out to Pee Wee Longway. You know, people, how he dodged certain incriminating questions when he go on Vlad TV. Other people need to learn from him instead of going up there incriminating themselves. Now, we was talking about the Tax Stone situation where he said something on his podcast, and then Vlad asked him about it, and he repeated it again on the Vlad TV interview. You know what I'm saying? So I was pointing out in that video that these particular statements was used inside of his indictment, inside of his paperwork. But at the same token, that same video I gave props to Vlad, said it took him 10 years to build the video. Also said, just like Pee Wee Longway, you don't have to answer these questions. That's not saying that it's anything wrong with Vlad doing. He doing what he's supposed to do. But somehow he took it, I'm assuming he took it or taking it as like I was trying to diss him or trying to water his brand down. Cause you know, Vlad get a lot of whatever from people. But it take a lot to get to where he's at to build something like that. So I have to respect that. At the end of the day, when he laying down, I don't know, just like anybody else, was their personal agenda about certain things that he did. Like, I wasn't even mad at the Ayanna Jackson interview. For the simple fact, I felt like, hell yeah, bring it up. So now in this day and age where everybody can look in, we can pick her shit apart. Instead of that just lie lingering there this whole time for people just to reference. Bring her back up there, and he broke her down and nicked her, picked her so much where people left out of that situation. Like, man, there's some bullshit, you know. But I never addressed that. I was gonna make a video right. This maybe like 2-3 months ago, maybe even 4 months ago. I was gonna talk about that situation with Vlad TV, referencing that video, this and that, you know. But I'm like, dog, if he really watched that video from beginning to end. But see, that's the thing. If you wake up in the morning and you feel like everybody against you, you know, if I wake up and I'm looking through my comments and I just see 1,000 negative comments, and then I see a video and it says, you know, John Doe DocX TV interview used inside of his indictment. With all the other negativity going on, I may view what I'm right in front of my face as something negative, but my thing is, I know people smart in their comprehension skills. If you listen to the words that I said in that video, I was not saying Vlad set Tax Stone up. Them words never came out of my mouth. I never insinuated that. No, none of that. I purely said what I said. You say he always asking suspect questions. See, that's the thing. And this is not to be on his side or not on his side, because me, like, say for instance, the bigger and bigger this community over here gets, and then you interviewing people, and then you know it's certain questions that the fans or the viewers want to know, or it's certain questions you may have to word a certain way to try to get this person to open up and talk this and that. It's a fine line when, okay, if you come from the street culture, if you come from used to hustle, you used to catch packs, send them off, send money, all this, whatever, to now you may be doing this, it'd be kind of weird trying to ask certain things, this and that. That's the way I talk in my videos now. My brain is still programmed a certain way. But it's like, in order to be in this world and to do this, I can't think as if I'm in the streets, but I don't want to put no one in a situation to incriminate themselves. It's been multiple times I've asked people after interviews, like, hey, do you want to take this out of this video? You know what I'm saying? And I'll let them hear it, and they have the opportunity to say yes or no. Just like, I'm gonna put it on the flow right now. Just like this whole situation that's going on between Gonzo and Yuckmouth. I think it's probably pretty much dying down, but other people got involved in it. Yuckmouth, the realist, started speaking up on Idi Amin podcast, whatever. All that started from an interview I did with Gonzo, just having like a group discussion over the Mason Cameron beef, and he chose to reference Yuckmouth 2 or 3 times in that video. After the fact, I asked him, did he want to take it out, because I already knew, like, if I was Yuck listening to this, he probably gonna get upset, you know. But he was like, no, it's the truth, but we be brothers now, you know, we got past it. But then it still happened, and I don't think that was Gonzo's intention, but he basically was like, you know, if he do get upset, fuck it, that's how he take it. But that's what ended up happening, you know what I mean? So, but the crazy thing after that, because then I was watching some of the things when Yuck was doing his live streams, he had like he was upset with me or talking lightweight shit to me, and then he been lightweight if he hear this, put it on Front Street. Yeah, it's been some tit for tat, acting funny, whatever, with another interview. Like, my dog, like, I don't know what type of niggas think I am, but dog, I ain't for that bullshit. I ain't on that bullshit. This a platform. Come promote your shit, say whatever you gotta say. I'm not gassing no one up. I'm not putting a gun to nobody's head, telling them to say A, B, C, D. You know what I mean? Niggas gotta stop making excuses and pointing the finger at everybody else and look at themselves and the person that they directly beefing with, and stop trying to blame the platform. Now, if the platform is purposely 1,000,000 times a day pushing one side of the story, doing this, doing that, you can tell when the platform is trying to start beef or this and that. And you can tell when one is just not being biased. And then you can tell when a platform just don't want to be involved with it at all. You say Dream Champs get the same results without the interrogation. Yeah, because, you know, it's easier if you sitting down getting drunk, laughing and joking, you know what I'm saying, and people drinking. It's easier to get a person. The thing is, and I'm not saying it's like people don't know, because prior to me doing this, I didn't know. But when you talking to people that you never met a day in your life, y'all never personally seen each other, especially over the phone, it's already a dynamic of being over the phone, but you're not in front of them. And then, say for instance, quote unquote bloggers have a certain stigma about it from whoever you want to put that stigma on. But all bloggers are up under a cloud, under a certain stigma of how rappers view all of us because of 1 or 2 different people. So they don't know what they expecting when they come. So some of them be on defense. Some of them don't want to open up. It's like you got to find ways, and I ain't going to say manipulative because that sounds like a negative word, but you got to find different ways to get that person to get comfortable and talk to them. So most time when I do interviews, I try to talk to them 10-15 minutes before the interview or a day before, chop it up with them, let them know a little bit about my blueprint, who I am, this and that, blah, blah, blah. So then when we do the interview, they feel a little bit more comfortable. But you know, you just never really know. But yeah, if you sitting down drinking and getting high with somebody, they gonna open up. You know, but think about it. You just mentioned Noriega. He's someone, a rapper from the industry from way back in the day that people know. So this quote unquote blogging type stuff, any and everybody is able to do it, regardless if they from the culture or not from the culture. Regardless if they are white, if they black or if they not black. Regardless if they really been in the streets or never been in the streets. If they from America, not from, it don't matter. Anybody can do it. You know what I mean? So they don't really know what you own, because some people have been messed up so much by the media, chopping and editing words, whatever, and they just become a little bit cautious about media in general. Yeah, they on guard, for real, Brandy, that's real. something else, just like some truth, because I'm gonna do this for maybe like 10 more minutes. But any question that you want to ask me that you want to get the truth about, as stuff coming to my mind, I'm just putting it out on the floor. Because it's when I did those videos about the game and Tekashi69, of course I already knew that people was in the game talking shit about Tekashi69. Didn't he supposed to mess with a young girl and stuff like this, blah blah blah. Now me personally, you know, myself, I know a few people over there in London. I actually know a lady, she's like in her 40s. You know, I ain't gonna put out, I don't think she in her 40s. She may be, you know, she's an adult, but she has children or whatever. You know what I mean? And they're close to that situation, that's all I'll say. And just people that personally know that little girl say they never seen her pregnant one day in her life. They have collected, I'm talking about, if the subject ever come up again, it's gonna force me to do a video about it, and it's actually gonna be the truth. Now I don't know if the game do know the girl and maybe even has sex, but as far as that part as him having a child by her, that's a lie, 100% lie. And another thing, as far as the people said that it was supposed to be some civil lawsuit, this and that, blah blah blah. From my understanding, as far as from the people that I know in London that I've been communicating with, they went and, you know, searched online, you know, people real names, old girl real name, nothing came up in the system. You know what I mean? But if that situation come up again, then it's gonna force me to make a video about it in detail, to put out the 100% facts about that. Because even that girl lied about her dad being dead. Her dad is alive. Her dad is on Facebook. Her dad have talked about it. You know what I mean? So it's a lot of lying going on. And the reason why, because people may look at it like, oh, Doc and Whack 100 got into it, and, you know, Whack is associated to the game. But when you talking about sexual allegations and stuff like that, having sex with kids and all this stuff, we got to be on some real shit. We got to talk about the truth. Or if you can't just be putting out stuff. Now, certain people that's pushing it because they may have an agenda to put that asterisk next to the game name. But from my understanding, talking to someone that's from over there, that's damn near like in a 7-8 mile radius of that little girl, they, you know what I mean, and have a child that go to school with her. They never seen that girl pregnant. She never missed no school, no none of that stuff. And that baby did not come out of her. That baby, her mom just had a baby. And she was taking pictures acting like, so I don't know if it was some finessing going on behind the scenes. I don't know. But we'll go into that if that subject ever come up on a bigger scale again, about the game. Yeah, Jihad, yeah, talking about the game. Yep. You were asking questions, what? Oh, shit. What's my freshman XXL list? Bro, I would have to probably make like a video just about that so I can do some research, because I'm gonna keep it funky with you. I don't really listen to none of these new niggas. Like, it's a few songs here and there, like that Plug Walk came around by Rich the Kid, and I know he ain't new or nothing like that, but it's like a couple songs here and there that run across my radar. But I ain't gonna say you gotta understand, but me, the people that I hang around, the people around this and that, 99% of that music don't make it to me. I have to ask people like, hey, on the internet, what's some new music out? What's a new mixtape out? So I can go search for it and look for it. Because other than that, it's not going to make it to me at all. Because no one that I'm around listen to a lot of this music. You know, the closest to that, and even Dave East, not a new person. You know what I mean? But I seen what Tekashi was pitching. I seen the YBN dude, that's from like Alabama but from the Bay or whatever. I seen him. You know, I don't know if it's too late for T Grizzly to get on it. Of course I would, you know what I mean, because he been consistent since he came out. Like, he haven't had that hit that went as big as first day out, but the songs that he dropped still float. They still do good. Like, it don't be like he dropped a song that just deaded him where people like, oh man, he a one-hit wonder. He's still doing his thing. The game respect, the rap game respect him. He doing collabs with Dirk, this and that. But name me, whoever the dude that just asked me about that, put up some of the names of the people that's supposed to be on like the list or candidates to be on the freshman list. You got to refresh my memory on that. And that's something else. Like that's I'm gonna put it out here right now. Like someone hit up DocXTV.info@yahoo.com. Like if you super into hip hop and you know about the stuff I cover, but you keep in tune with like this new modern day stuff that's the Tekashis, you know what I mean, the Little Xans, all them dudes like that. If you keep up with that stuff, even if you like the music or not, I don't judge, that's, you know what I mean, but if you keep up with that world, hit that email up and I'm gonna chop it up with you about something. Another thing, if you a comedian or funny, hit that email up, you know what I mean. It would be cool to see Payroll get a shot for sure. You already know. Payroll, for sure. That's all I can say. Payroll's supposed to have been in a bigger position than he in right now. But the game dealing with these labels, everything else, constantly, you know, it's a full-on attack against not letting quote-unquote street niggas in the game. Even from blogging, it's a full-on attack not to let real or street niggas in the game. Meringue and Kelly, what's the status on Peasy? What do you mean? I'm talking about, I see him on IG still flossing, doing his thing, you know what I mean? I think him and Filthy Rich dropped a mixtape together like down there right after that situation happened. But he moving around, you know, he moving around, backing his spirits back on what he was on. Okay, 6ix9ine, Ski Mask, Dexter, that Barbie girl, T-Grizz. Yeah, I'm talking about the names that stick out to me that I definitely know of. I know the Dexter dude, I don't listen to his music. It's a little bit too much, you know what I mean? Like, it's some mumble rap that I can vibe to because the Dexter, I don't like all that shit, man. That's almost like put a helmet on, you know, retarded type music to me. You know what I mean? But T Grizzly, the YBN dude, if 6ix9ine putting up the numbers to be there, you know what I mean? I don't know the dude, people that was bringing up Payroll, I don't know if he missed that mark because he didn't drop so many albums. You know what I mean? He didn't drop so many albums. I don't know if he would still fall up under that criteria right now. Glock and Brandy, what y'all laughing at? TK and the running two with shit. Just for the situation, him being in the situation that he in, he need to get some accomplishments and all that, you know what I mean, to try to keep his head up through that situation, you know. PSN One Roof NT, if you got this basketball game or what you call that, what's the name of this game right here, Grand Theft Auto, the last one, them the only two games I periodically play. But hit me up. If you on Coop, if you on Instagram or Twitter, just hit me at DocXTV and I'll send you my PSN information. The last time, hopefully it ain't showing, I don't know if it's, but the last time I did that, man, you really got some super weirdos out here, man, that be doing all type of shit. Shout out to Mark T from Buffalo, New York. If he listening or see this, shout out to him. Bro, holla at me. We need to really chop it up and get some business done, for real, for real. He say the damn helmet music, for real, that shit be straight retarded, man. Even when I see him in interviews, you know, I don't know if people just be that fried, just that slushed out, you know. But yeah, and my thing is, when I look at him, and I don't want to diss old boy, but his face all off to the side and everything, I don't know if it's the drugs or maybe his face just built like that, but along with the colorful hair and all the tattoos. But he do his thing, he make his turn up music. But one thing I can respect about Dexter, when they asked him about the OGs and stuff like that, he did show respect. So I gotta respect him on that, from that mindset. Yeah, Lil Xan, I'm glad, you know, people ran up on him and got his mind right, and they said he went through depression and all that. People gotta stop feeling comfortable with dissing dead people. Like, this whole trend of dissing dead people is not cool. Like, I don't understand that. Like, that shit's retarded. You know, I understand like in the heat of the moment, if you super mad, I'm talking about, it had to be some bloodshed. You didn't have to kill someone that's close to me that I love and this and that. And you just on some super disrespectful shit to make me just go to that level to just be dissing dead people or have something negative to say. My thing is, if I'm not aware of a rapper or this and that, I'm just going to say I don't know too much about him. But I seen the little clips. I would need to see that whole interview. But then at the same time, media know when they asking these dudes, why are you asking someone that you know that wasn't even alive when Pac was alive about Tupac? You trying to get one of those answers. For real, for real. Think about that one place that had the rappers come up there and read rappers' names, raps off them cards and stuff. They had T.I. up there, and they picked the most said in his life to have him read it, so T.I. can say, oh, I rate that a 1 or something like that. That was some cat in the hat, dog in the bat type stuff. Now, out of everything Tupac said, you made sure you went got the weakest bars or some simple stuff. And, you know, people are purposely doing that because they know that the views going to come with it. And people got to stop falling for that trap. By now, people got to stop falling for the trap. Next tour named Tupac Alive Tour. I wonder how shit would be if him and I was watching with the Trade E interview, and Trade E was saying if Pac was alive, he would have been the first rap billionaire 15 years ago. The whole structure of the rap game would be so different right now. And it's not to say that the other people that end up capitalizing and winning and they damn near billionaires now don't have the talent to make it to where they at. But they would have had to really, really, really push. They would have had to, some of them albums that came out that was dope for back then would have had to have been 10 times doper because they would have had way more competition to go up against. You said no respect for the dead. It's retarded. You know, my thing is all of us, at the end of the day, all of us are reflections of our parents. And I ain't trying to be no preacher or nothing like that. I'm just a realist, man. Not like I'm a real nigga. I'm just a realist. We all reflections of our parents. So when I see these kids, it just made me look at them like either your parents failed you or they did a good job. It's one of them two things. So when you naming some of these people that doing all this goofball shit, it just made me think like their parents done failed them. And then we just live in a world where by entertainment, we like to see people living on the edge of death. That like 50 Cent said, what Interscope and them was doing right when his first album came out. You know what I'm saying? They damn near was expecting for him to die. You know what I mean? But when they right there that close, 2 inches away from dying, and people think that's when them album sales was people so intrigued. But then once people find out, like, oh, well, he ain't gonna die, he ain't gonna get killed, people move on to the next who almost about to die next. But man, Glockism, man, I appreciate that, man. You say, no, fuck that, preach. I guess that'd be my thing. I'll be trying to put the medicine in the candy with my stuff, because I don't be wanting, like when I look at my analytics, majority of my viewers are from like 25 to like 45. But the whole purpose of this channel, definitely I want to speak to my people that surrounding my age group and stuff like that. But the purpose, I wanted to reach the younger kids, or at least the younger kids that got an old soul, the younger kids that got some OGs, some real OGs around you. That brings me back to 6ix9ine. If you 21, how your OG 26 or 27? Come on, man. That nigga just as old as you. How the fuck he your OG? But that's why I wanted to reach, so they can hear some of the stuff, so they can at least hear it, so they won't have the excuse, oh, I ain't never heard that before. Because all these situations that people going through, even myself, everybody can learn from, because the same bullshit these rappers going through, we go through in regular day life, other than we just don't have the diamond chains, the Bentleys, and the mansions. People cheating on their girl or vice versa, people getting caught up with guns, people in and out of jail, people fighting this and that, you know what I mean? The jealousy, the hate, trying to get the money, all those simple principles, all that stuff is the same thing that regular individuals on a day-to-day go through. So I try to take these situations so we can break them down on a level that we can learn from. But I definitely appreciate everybody's support. You know what I mean? I appreciate everybody's support. I appreciate everybody that leave comments, that be behind supporting what's going on. Cause to be honest with you, Without y'all, I wouldn't even be the 53,000, almost 54,000 subscribers. It's so important that I acknowledge y'all and tell y'all that I appreciate y'all from the bottom of my heart, for real, for real. You say, Doc, but for real, we have to hold the G's responsible too. They need to step in. The game is a prime example. It's sad. Yeah, I'm talking about the OGs too. You know, the OGs got to, for so long, we've been pushing deaf culture on rape culture, but definitely the deaf mentality on our community for so long. It's not going to change overnight. Like songs like Live Fast, Die Young go platinum. People be in the club drinking, live fast, die young. They go leave the club, get into an accident doing 100 miles per hour. Like, people, a lot of times, like, in our brains, until we over 25, we don't even be but thinking that we gonna make it to 25. So people be in a rush trying to get so much accomplished, trying to get all the money, trying to bang as many chicks as they can, trying to do all this stuff, because they don't even think they gonna see past 25. And then when they do, and then make it to 30, they start seeing, like, I still got a long time ahead of me. And it's not say just be lazy and take your time to get stuff accomplished, but just take your time, like, plan stuff out, make goals, and knock them out. Everybody not here to do things at the same time. You go to college, some people might graduate in 4 years, 5 years, some in 6, some may take 8 years. You know, it just, do you. Too many people concerned about what everybody else got going on, and they put that competition on themselves, and that's what make people anxiety or depressed, or, you know, the hatred and the envy come, because people comparing themselves too much to other people and what they got going on. We don't be knowing the backstory behind other people, what they got going on, if they got financial support from their parents, or if they got inherited money left in their family, or if they broke as hell and working at Mickey D's. We don't never know. You know what I mean? Build a future. Salute, Brandy. Hey, I'm gonna keep it real like this. I made some mistakes in my life that stopped me from being able, you know, once you get a couple F's on your report card, you'll get a report card or whatever, you can't be a teacher and stuff like that no more. And that's what I wanted to do leaving Detroit. I wanted to be a secondary English education, because I seen from inside of my household and in the streets a lot of BS pop off just because people don't know how to communicate with each other. So this came around to give me an opportunity to speak my mind, try to help people think outside of the box, and do it from a perspective where people can tell, like, hey, he know what he's talking about, but I ain't gotta be hey bruh, hey bruh, hey bruh every 4 words. Like, I can't say a complete full sentence. You know what I mean? So, and ain't no knock to some people just don't know how to properly speak. And I say, you know what I mean, sometimes too, but I just, that's what all of this is about, you know what I mean? So people can learn something, and I can learn stuff from y'all, because some of the comments y'all be leaving, it gives me a different outlook on stuff, or make me go research some other stuff. You say, Doc, do you speak to the youth? Like maybe 2-3 years after I got out of high school, I had went to a school one time, and it was just because I went to college. I went back just to speak to a school, but that was pretty much it. Never did it after that. You know, life come at you so fast. Responsibilities. You know, unfortunately, if you choose a certain path, trouble, you know, and you got to keep up with everything else that come with the streets, you know what I mean? So I never really look back, but I want to, but this is my way, because everybody got a phone in their hand or their pocket. So it's like, I'm just one thought away, I'm one share away, I'm one word of mouth away from getting to that youth. If they just go on their phone and hit that damn red play button and just know about Doc Hicks TV. You know what I mean? I'm just one step away from them. I'm in their pocket right now. They just don't know it. Like even simple things like appearances all over your face. I never understood. I got tattoos down on my lower forearm, and I always told myself after I got it, I wanted to remove them, because just certain situations, it would make me have to wear long sleeve shirts because of what it say. And it ain't even nothing crazy. It's just my nickname. But some people look at Doc, oh, what that mean? Department of Corrections? No, motherfucker, that's my nickname, Doc. Do you know what I mean? I done had that at jobs before. People thought it meant Department of Corrections or some other shit, you know. And I'm like, but all the rest of my other tattoos are totally cover up, where I can have on a polo shirt, you know, like a polo type shirt, and all the rest of my tattoos, chest, arms, shoulders, all that, whatever, all that stuff is covered up. You can't see it except that one I got down there. See, the thing, like you said, with appearance, people nowadays that's gangster, they want to show they gangster, but that's an intimidation thing because they're trying to scare people off. The people that listen to like E40 and all that, like come from that era, no. I want to wear some glasses, keep a clean haircut. Because I want to be able to maneuver while I'm out. I don't want to be appeared as a threat. Because if I only be appeared as a threat, you're not looking at me. And while you're not looking at me, that give me the opportunity to do what I need to do without being on the radar. But these niggas want to put I'm a dope dealer across their motherfucking forehead, and then they wondering why their house getting raided, and then they blaming it on racism and all this other stuff. Like, no, nigga, you hot. Look at how you carrying yourself. You can't go get a job. You can't do nothing else. But they don't think about that. I told this one random dude at a gas station. I used to always see him at this gas station. And my thing, I don't knock people that hustle. But I end up, the dude was like maybe 17 or 18 years old. And I end up telling him, I seen he had a couple tattoos on his neck, had a teardrop, knowing damn well this dude ain't never bodied nobody. But I end up telling him, man, like, don't put yourself in a position where this is all you can do for the rest of your life. And I just walked away and left it alone. I don't know if he caught it, if he remembered it, but if he think about it next 10 years from now, he'll see what I'm saying. Like, don't put yourself in a position where all you can do is hustle. You didn't shut so many doors, your record so messed up, you can't do nothing else but live this life because you don't have no trades and nothing else. You don't think you smart enough. Some people I know that hustle that, and they smart and hustling, and I mean they could transfer over to other skills. They scared to do it. Some people scared to pick up a book. Some people even scared to hit Google and research stuff. You know what I mean? Like, we got to expand our brains, you know what I mean? And some people just get too caught up in knowing or thinking that this is all they can do. If you can apply, if you can grind from a zip or a dime or a zip and get to $40,000-$50,000, everything that you done had to go through mathematically, everything that you had to go through as far as dodging the boys, all them instincts, all that stuff, if you can find something else to apply all that knowledge and something to, you will be great at it. Because a lot of people that's in positions in these in these corporate rooms, they there because they just know somebody. It's not because they really, experienced or really, you know what I mean? Like, it's crazy. Yeah, you can't move in silence if you flexing like a millionaire. Now, I'm not gonna say if I had 20 mil in the bank. It may be days, yeah. It may be days I might have to shit on a couple people. And I got that list, and it's maybe 5 people on that list. But it ain't that I'm not even that type of person. I'd rather try to figure out ways to uplift other people. Because if I'm the highest one on the food chain with money, everybody gonna be coming to try to knock me off the top of the food chain if everybody else ain't eating. But people have $20 in their pockets, and you would think that they're a millionaire. It's just a mentality. Until people feel comfortable with themselves, and that's kind of going back to what I was saying at the beginning of the video. That's why I have different opinions about Tekashi69, but I can tell that he's still trying to find himself. He's not going to admit it. He may get upset even if someone said that to him and he had to hear that. But you can clearly see, if you go from supposed to have been banging the Mexican gang to putting on a blue flag to now you a blood, you trying to find yourself. Somewhere up in them years you wasn't comfortable. And my thing is, I guarantee, peep this and someone do the math on this. I guarantee if people go and check the dates of what years those was when Tekashi was wearing them blue flags, I guarantee that's probably around the time when Bobby Shmurda was out and GS9 was popping, And he was probably trying to ride that wave because them dudes was Crips. And he probably was, I'm not saying ride that wave like be down with them, but he was probably trying to ride that wave because Crips had their name and clout in New York and doing their thing. And he'd probably do the math on that, find out when that picture when he was on that bed with them blue flags and around his neck. I guarantee it was probably during that time. Because that's how dudes do it. That's how dudes do it. You know what I'm saying? I remember I was down south when Lil Wayne started gang banging and swooping every 2-3 words in his raps. I'm talking about you had everybody and your mama thought they was Bloods. And then you had all the females and they mama giving pussy to these fake wannabe Bloods as if they think because they got a red pocket and a red bandana in their pocket like they really knew Lil Wayne or they was attached to his money or something. It's just followers. You know what I mean? No one, everybody going right, I want to go left or vice versa. And I just want to do me. You say that shit gets old. What gets old? 6ix9ine bullied kid. Possibly. Something else that he lied about. But see, that's the thing. Certain people not covering it. When he said only one show got canceled. I know for a fact it's a show that he got canceled in Miami, in Manhattan, because the parents didn't, once they found out his charges, it was a teen party. If y'all go back in my videos, y'all see that I did that video. That one got canceled. So outside the show that got canceled for the shenanigans and him running around, that's definitely another one. But since you got certain outlets that's not going to cover those type of things, if you don't speak about it, I guess it never existed. Right. What old boy say, be a leader, not a follower. But if you are a follower, make sure you follow the right leader. For real. Because everybody don't have the temperament. Everybody don't have the mind power. Everybody don't have the, I don't know every other word, but the characteristics and the morals and principles to be a leader. Everybody can't do it. You know what I mean? Everybody not fit for it. And that's the, even though you say it's too many sheep, not enough shepherds, shit, it's too many niggas out here trying to be bosses. Everybody not meant to be a boss. Everybody can't run something. That's the reason why, as a black community, say for instance you got 6 or 7 homeboys, them 6 or 7 homeboys gonna fall out because everybody want to be the boss. Now either y'all all can be equal, but sometimes people just have that gift to be able, and that's, you know, charisma and everything, to be the boss. Say for BMF would have never got to where it was at if everybody up under Meech wanted to be in his position. People gotta know how to play their position. Whatever talent you got, do that. You know what I mean? But that's why people would rather kill you for the plug and try to take your position because they want to be a boss instead of just playing their position until they can get into that position and learn as much as possible till they can become a boss. But everybody can't be a boss. Because a boss want to help other people become bosses and get in position. A hoe ass nigga, you know what I'm saying, a selfish ass person want to be a boss so they can look down on you and try to make you feel like a worker or call people, you know, like they coat and all this stuff. Like, it's crazy. I said I'm gonna answer a couple more questions. I'm sitting up here drinking some damn V8. This is a way to make sure I get my damn vegetables and shit. But if there's any other questions y'all want to ask me, I'm going to go ahead and knock them out. And then I'm going to go ahead and, you know, get this video uploaded. But I greatly appreciate everybody that tuned in. Great conversation with y'all. Is there anything else this week that I missed or that's been going on? I'm trying to think what else went on. We talked about Tekashi. We talked about the DMX. We talked about Juelz Santana. We talked about the Jeezy Gucci Man impact. We really didn't talk about Chance the Rapper calling out some place that was supposed to put up a Heineken for putting up like a racist ad or something like that. That's going to be ongoing. Businesses already know how to capital. That's their shock value. So every blog, every media, everybody cover it. They get all that free exposure, even if it's something bad. And then people boycott and then go right back to them. My form of boycotting is, I'm not fucking with you no more. Just like when I boycott a motherfucker in real life, I'm just not fucking with you no more. It ain't no, let me wait to see if he gonna get his mind right or she gonna get her mind right. I'm done with you. Because you done already showed me you got that characteristic in you. So it's always going to be there. You just going to hide it. Say 50 Cent, the 50 Cent, yeah, I talked about a little bit about that 50 Cent having 6ix9ine. I'm talking about, yeah, of course, if 6ix9ine can bring in 6 million views in one day on the platform, hell yeah, you want them to come on your platform. Because please believe, thisis50.com, no diss, but numbers wise on YouTube, not even as big as the Breakfast Club. So if they can get half of the views that he can bring in from his demographic, is all target marketing, it's business. They want to reach his target demographic of fans and stuff so they can reach a broader place. You know, appreciate that. You said keep up the good work, J2323J. I appreciate that. Yeah, racism is, you know what I mean? But you got to think, who's the face right now that have made people feel comfortable with it? But you know, people were so mad at that past 8 years. You know what I mean? People were so mad at that past 8 years just because he was black. If you had a white man in there doing the same exact thing that Obama was doing, them people wouldn't have had no problem with it. But just because it was a black man doing it, they want to come back and repeal everything that he do, even if it was good for people. You said the Suge Knight case got pushed back. Yeah. They not letting that do. I don't want to say they not. It's a high probability that they not gonna let that dude up out of jail. That's why they trying to arrest his girl. They didn't. I think he on his 15th defense counselor. You know what I mean? Then the Clay Salone dude that was there, he not snitching. He not talking. You know, it's. And the thing is, I thought WAC 100 was supposed to come up with $1 million to bail him out of jail. I don't know what's going on. You know, it's not looking good. It's not looking good for him. And to be honest with you, from what I hear, that he was supposed to be, he was getting attacked during that situation. So my thing is then like he was doing that out of self-defense, and that's not to be on his side, but if that's true, that he was getting attacked and he did that out of self-defense, then that is self-defense. But everything else, probably LA County and everybody else probably won. That's why he up in there. And for the simple fact, Suge Knight got a lot of valuable information in his head that people want to know. And they may not want to let him out. Because Suge put out a book I would want to read, because it's a lot of stuff that he know. As long as it's the truth, it's a lot of stuff that he put out that I would want to know. I done tried to get Suge Knight Jr. to come up on here. You know, it be a lot of them. A lot of them dudes, they'll respond back, oh yeah, cool, for sure. What time? What day? Okay. Then that day come. Then a week later, oh, okay, my bad, I missed it. What day, this and that. But I'm the type of person, I'm not about to ask you 100 times. Okay, that first time we missed it, scheduling problems. That second time, I ain't gonna say it's F you, but I ain't about to keep every week, oh, you ready? I'm ready when you ready, this and that. We just move on. You know, fuck it. But that's how I'm telling you. And I ain't gonna say just because a rapper haven't been on Doc Hicks TV Day and shit, but I'm telling you, they'll run to anybody else, any other shade. It's like, it's down there like you putting 100-pound weight around their ankles to try to get some of these rappers to come on a fully black platform. They wanna down there they want to make it seem like they doing you a favor, but they'll run everywhere else and kiss their ass to be up on their platform, even if that platform talk about the same thing as you, probably even talk about them even worse than you, but they'll run there first. But when it comes to an all black platform, you know what I'm saying, it's like you putting 1 million pound bricks around their ankles, they dragging their feet, this and that. And that's one of the things, as I've been doing this blogging stuff, I have lost a lot of respect for a lot of rappers that I used to listen to their music and stuff growing up back in the day. Because you get to see the sensitivity and stuff in a lot of these dudes that you just didn't get the opportunity to see by just listening to their music, by being in conversation with them, or now conversation with other people, or people coming back to you telling you stuff, or you noticing the little slick disses and things that they doing. You start saying like, all rappers is just a whole bunch of image. It's just all a whole bunch of images, photo shoots, and tough talk on wax. They bleed just like everybody else. They ain't the last, you know what I mean, the gun that they bought wasn't the last gun that was created on earth. You know what I mean? They know hitters and I ain't gonna say all bloggers do, but some of us know, you know, whatever. You know, it's crazy. You said, how do I know them personally? I'm talking about, well, answering that question, like some of them that I have done interviews with, we will converse multiple times, either before the interview, after the interview. They might call and try to get some promotion done, because besides this platform, it's other platforms that I have that I do not talk about on Doc Hicks TV, because it's some ton of haters associated to not just one blogger, but it's some other bloggers that be trying to hate on my platform. So I don't even talk about other places that I have that I do, you know what I mean, work at, and other stuff where people that I know, they got platforms and websites and stuff like that. So we get into communication, chop it up, laugh and talk, this and that, or they might just call and check on it, or some of them, when they come into town, they may hit me up. And I'm not the type of person, when the rapper come around or we around each other or whatever, hey man, let me take a picture. I'm a grown ass man, so I don't like being on that groupie stuff. That's why I never really like going to rap concerts. I don't like being the one in the crowd looking up. Either if I go to a concert, if I'm not up on stage, I don't really like going to no concerts. But to answer that person question, to answer that person and say, how do I know them personally? You know what I'm saying? But that's why I didn't say all rappers. I just said it's a lot of rappers that I used to grow up listening to. Over this time of doing this, I have lost respect for, because you start seeing the sensitive. You see the sensitive about them. You see the image about them. And then when you start talking to reputable sources that's not on the internet, that's trying to get fame and this and that, but they the ones behind the scene that 10 people vouch for, and you know this person real, and then you listen to what they got to say compared to what people coming on the internet saying, and then you line everything up and you know what they saying the truth, but they like, man, I don't want to even be attached to this media circus that's going on. You start seeing that there's a lot of these motherfuckers that's coming on this internet, these rappers lying like a motherfucker. But it ain't for me to call them out, because eventually it's either gonna get called out, or maybe a video or something, if it's done in the right way. If people start reading between the lines and paying attention to little bitty details, they would see who some of these dudes is that's doing these Instagram lives and shit all the time. That's some lying ass motherfuckers. You feel me? How you get 6 months for H? You must not be talking to me. But for sure, man, it's running an hour and 17 minutes. I greatly appreciate it. Once it's upload, you know, I'll jump back in the comments once it's up if y'all want to continue to chop it up, you know what I mean? But definitely hit me up on the IG at Doc Hicks TV, Twitter, Doc Hicks TV. If it's different stories and different things that's going on that y'all want me to cover, that'd be the quickest way to be like, hey Doc, man, you know, hey, this is going on. I want to hear what your perspective on it. You could drop it in an old video when I'll see it, or come to my Twitter and Instagram, DM me or something like that, and let me know and we'll be on it. But salute to y'all, man. Double salute. Much love to everybody. Love y'all. Y'all be safe. Keep y'all antennas up. You know, summertime about to come around. We all want to make it till we 99 years old, but definitely make it through the summer. Don't get caught up in no bullshit. Don't let nobody negative energy pull you down as you progress in life. You know what I mean? Just stay on the straight and narrow and stay out the way. But love y'all. Peace. I don't really know how to turn it.